Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who, obviously. But what I mean by that is, it's the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who today. By the time you guys watch this, it'll be the 23rd of November 2023, the 60th birthday of Doctor Who. And I just kind of wanted to take the opportunity to talk about what Doctor Who means to me as a person, and kind of just say thank you to Doctor Who, really, for everything that it's brought me over the last few years. And I want you guys to let me know down in the comments what Doctor Who means to you as well. Because I've been talking to you guys about Doctor Who for years, but I've never actually just sat down and talked about what the show meant to me, what it represented, so we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Also, before we get into it, if you could do me a teeny tiny little favour and subscribe if you're brand new. The Doctor Who 60th anniversary is just a few sleeps away, and I promise you'll be getting a ton of content and updates on the 60th anniversary as it's coming out. So be sure to subscribe to not miss any of those. So I think Doctor Who is one of those shows that means a lot to a lot of different people, by the sheer nature of the fact that it's constantly changing and reinventing itself. At its core, of course, it's still the same premise, but so many different versions of Doctor Who exist. For me, myself, it means a few things. A lot of people see Doctor Who as being about change. Personally, whilst I cannot deny that that's a part of Doctor Who, an essential part, that's never really been what I see it as being about. That's never been the thing that I identify with the most, despite it being explored extremely well throughout the show's long history. Personally, I see change within Doctor Who as the vehicle that allows the show to continue to exist, rather than its central theme overall. I mean, it's hard to give Doctor Who a central theme overall, given how many different creative interpretations of Doctor Who there are, and whilst change has definitely been explored as a theme in individual instances, I wouldn't say it's the overall theme of the show. Because lest we forget, Doctor Who was conceived long before things like regeneration, changing companions, or anything like that was even done. For me, I can think of a few things that Doctor Who represents that really strikes a chord with me personally. First of all, I think the show is about friendship. Now, you can say this about many other TV shows and films, that friendship is core to those films or shows, but I think nothing exemplifies friendship like Doctor Who does. The constant new people that the Doctor is meeting and having these interesting dynamics with, interesting relationships with throughout their lives, I think really resonates with me, because I've made so many friends through Doctor Who over the years, throughout my life. And I think the Doctor as this symbol, as this representation of a character that can bring people together, and the show more broadly being something that's meant to bring together all ages. I think friendship and community and family are so core to what Doctor Who is, arguably more so than anything else. I think another thing that I love about Doctor Who is the character of the Doctor. So often in pop culture, heroes these days use their physical abilities to win fights, right? Particularly with the rise of the superhero genre, Star Wars, there's a lot of emphasis put on physical ability. And don't get me wrong, whilst the Doctor has shown to be no slouch in that, you know, with Venetian Aikido and stuff like that, a common trait of the Doctor is to use their intellect to win their various battles that they get into, and to use their wit and their words to win wars, if you like. And for me, as someone who couldn't do an awful lot physically and actually did get bullied in school, the idea of a character being on screen who didn't punch, didn't kick, but simply was sarcastic and witty in the face of an enemy, that meant a lot for me to see growing up. And it's something that I used in my day-to-day life. And I think Doctor Who in particular is a huge reason why I am as confident talking to people, random people, and talking to a camera as I am today, because the character of the Doctor, whilst constantly looking like they are truly done for, they are always true to themselves, and they are always very much vocal in who they are as people, and particularly growing up, that meant a lot to me. I think another thing it represents for me, which is vital, and I think it's vital for many other science fiction and fantasy properties, is escapism. But more specifically, the transformation of the mundane into the fantastical. I think we can all relate to points where life has been a bit naff, and Doctor Who's kind of been there as this place where we can just become somebody else. For a few hours or 45 minutes, we become somebody different. We enter a different world, and I think Doctor Who does that so brilliantly and so uniquely because of the fact that it grounds itself in reality as well. Monsters like the Autons, the Weeping Angels, even things like the Flood, take things that are essentially mundane and turn them into something fantastical. So if you are perhaps unhappy in your ordinary life, it gives you a new perspective on things. It allows you to open up to this idea that all around us, the world is constantly surprising and interesting. I mean, that's something that Sarah Jane Adventures in particular had at its core.
I saw amazing things out there in space, but there's strangeness wherever you turn. Life on Earth can be an adventure too. You just need to know where to look.
And more specifically to me, as someone who was disabled, who often felt kind of like life was a bit naff, having that place where I could just go and not have to think about that stuff for a while meant a lot. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that as well. I also want to thank Doctor Who for just this, honestly. Without Doctor Who, this wouldn't exist. I mean, it's a possibility. I'd have done something like this, something like YouTube, without Doctor Who. It's a possibility. But no other property elicits this much from me as Doctor Who does. I love talking about Doctor Who, if you haven't already noticed. I could talk about Doctor Who till the cows come home, because it's something that brings me so much joy. And I want to thank you guys for being here to share that joy with me, to go on this journey with me. I never thought I would get this far, quite honestly, and Doctor Who has not only been a huge part of my childhood, a huge part of my life, a huge part of what's made me a person, but it's also more or less given me kind of a career. If you'd have told me a few years ago I'd be interviewing someone in the 60th anniversary about their role in the 60th anniversary on a BBC podcast, I'd have said, don't be ridiculous, that's insane. But here we are. And that wouldn't be possible without you guys being here, watching me talk about this silly show that we love so much and so dearly and so deeply. And finally, I guess I just want to thank Doctor Who for just making me more interested in media in general. So from the bottom of my heart, as we are now on the 60th birthday Doctor Who, not only happy birthday to Doctor Who, but also thank you to Doctor Who for everything. And thank you to you guys for following me on this journey. I know this kind of has the vibe of a final video. It's certainly not. I plan on keeping going for many years to come, maybe even until I'm grey and have a huge beard. I mean, I've got some facial hair today. I need to shave. But thank you all so much for being on this journey with me. Let me know down in the comments below what Doctor Who means to you. I'd actually genuinely love to know. Subscribe if you're new, like if you enjoy, and I will see you later.